governing. Okay, we have not convened our meeting yet, but we are live streaming as of now. And we are awaiting our fourth governing council member who should arrive any minute. If we don't see her in a couple minutes, we'll start anyway.
So Will, I had no notion that there existed this access point for the recordings of the meetings, because I would always check them periodically and I'm like, oh, not there, and I don't want to bug anybody. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're due on Thursday. So
All right,
Because I am
5:37.
That's
When
what
you
you
convene the meeting. And let's start with a roll call. Do we have
no one's going.
no members online?
We are live streaming.
Well, let's start with you and go clockwise.
All right, Will Tracy, ALCS Director.
Tanya Rivers, vice chair. Just.
What does he want to call yourself?
Because
I'm up
You're a
co-chair.
vice.
The but we don't have a co.
No, we don't.
And so I always, yes, sorry.
All right,
always
no worries.
stumble over it.
Harry Brown, chair. Member of the public.
Erin Fitzgerald, GC member.
And Jim McIntosh, secretary.
And Chris Ariano, the new admin assistant, filling in for Candy.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Reading of the
Thank you,
mission
Chair.
and vision.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you, Tanya.
Yes. ALCS mission at Aldo Leopold Charter School, the human and natural environments serve as text and lab for learning through direct experience, inquiry, and stewardship. Vision. Aldo Leopold Charter School graduates will use the skills, perspectives, and information they gain at school to enhance their own lives and to advance social, economic, and environmental sustainability.
Well read. Agenda review. We've all had some time to look it over. Any desired changes?
Do we need to have action after the Open Meetings Act resolution?
Yes? That was a
Okay.
I think that's it.
misstep. Thank you, Will.
That falls under the rubric of typo, right? It's not any kind of.
That is not fatal. Yep. Anything else? In that case, I would entertain the motion.
I move that we accept the agenda as printed, or I'm sorry, as amended.
I second.
Thank you, Aaron. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimous. Public comment. Don't believe there's anybody on there. It says one participant, that's us. Have you any public comment?
I'm interested to be here. Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Right.
You're welcome. Right, might as well wait till you get officially introduced. Okay, review and approval of the minutes of our June 11 regular meeting. I skimmed them rapidly while sitting here. Thank you for being late.
Anytime.
I can't believe you skimmed my work.
Oh,
Nice. Tim, I'll go back and devote the appropriate attention.
They're
Tonight.
they're pleasant to read.
Yeah.
It reads like a novel.
They're
Yeah.
very cool.
I had no changes in my skimming. Anybody have any?
I had a question on a spelling, and you, I remember in the meeting you said like our Commerce Secretary, Bessent, Kim.
Because I believe that's what I saw. Is that-
That's what I wrote, but I put it in, I highlighted it because it was something that I wasn't positive on. Okay. Minor detail. I do have a
Else?
question, and I guess this is an appropriate time to ask this question. If there is a small change, like I think I misspelled a teacher's name at one point because I couldn't find it. Is that my job to fix that immediately and send it? I know a couple times you fix things that have been minor like that. What's the chain of command? Because I haven't gone back and looked at the posted minutes. It may be something I should do.
So somebody needs to fix it, print an official version as voted and approved. And then I sign it and Will signs it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
That's what's supposed to
I
happen.
might need to go back through and double check a couple of things. They're
And then
minor.
On the website, when you've had highlighted sections of what was this person's name, I make that adjustment. Put it up.
Okay, okay,
And that's when it goes from draft minutes to approved minutes.
okay, thanks.
And Will, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have somewhat fallen behind on the signing part of these minutes, have we not?
I think you're correct on that. Yeah, I think we're.
So we need to get
delinquent on a
back
few.
in that habit.
Does that happen electronically
No.
or is that wet signatures?
It's a wet
It's
signature.
called wet signatures.
I
I
know.
just learned this term, throwing it around.
Yep. It's a
Yeah,
wet
be
signature.
careful.
And when I was secretary, my system was, it was approved at one meeting. At the next meeting, I would bring the official
Okay,
with a signature line for each of the chair.
Let me do
for
that.
Alex and Will.
Yeah.
And so at the next meeting, it would get signed. The only exception to that is when the PED is waiting for
Mhm.
final minutes for some purpose, which is like twice a year.
Okay,
Worth noting, I have physical copies of all of the approved minutes.
So you and I
So
can
you
just
can
go
just sit
through.
and go through and sign them to catch up on the couple months we're behind on.
Perfect.
The other thing about minutes, I don't know if this will make it easier or not, but if we upload them into the folders, we can do live editing. Like, so we could edit it right in this meeting if you wanted to do that. I don't want to mess with your process too much, but
no,
it's
that's
like,
okay. Into that OneDrive folder that
Yeah.
other documents were in. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That would be good for us to get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm depending more and more on that, so
okay,
it'd be good.
thanks.
Well, I'll move approval of the minutes as written.
did we vote on that? Did we just do them?
Agenda is what we just voted.
Okay. Right. I would move to approve the minutes.
You'll second my motion?
I'll second your motion.
Okay, second the motion.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, we We have a first,
Yeah.
oh, I tried to say I move that. Well, anyway, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 What was that?
And it's approved unanimously. Thank you, Jim.
Don't know. What too detailed about.
Crystal,
What was that? Hi.
nothing. No, I'm just looking at you.
Oh.
But it is your turn. Business manager's
Yay.
report.
Glad I'm at the top. Get it over with. So we met with Jackie yesterday. Everything on there, all accounts are good standing. Her and Justine rolled everything over, so fiscal year 27 is ready to go. I know Jackie and Harry were talking about the Medicaid costs. There was 2 deposits that Jackie's trying to figure out where that came from. There was 2 deposits.
And the, if I may interrupt,
Yes,
Okay,
please.
the reason it came up is that one of them says, 2024. And it was 33,000, a lot of money to have been delayed that long. So I was like, what's going on? And Jackie's trying to find out. The other was labeled 2025, which I think is probably normal.
Yeah, so Jackie is just trying, she's reached out to see where that money, what it's.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the meeting, if we had had the money as of June of last year, all of us would have slept easy. I mean, we scraped through last year.
Mm.
And it's annoying to see that there was a large amount of money we probably should have had.
Hmm.
Thanks.
And then just lastly, page 6, there's a maintenance bar. It's for 4,000. It's just going from function 2,200 to 2,400.
Maintenance bar. Okay.
So a quick rundown, would it be of use to know the different kinds of bars? No, I just saw you comment on maintenance bar.
Well, is it a long list or is it a
No,
list
there's
of
4
three?
things.
Okay,
There's an initial budget. And you'll see those, they'll have an IB. So
Okay.
if you upper right of the bar, you'll see an M, that's because it's a maintenance bar. You can see an IB for initial bar. There's an I, which is an increase, and there's a D, which is a decrease. And that's it. So just those 4.
So the initial budget, that's self-explanatory.
Well, probably when you have a new fund, that still counts as initial budget.
Oh, okay,
Even if you have an established budget, if you're adding a
Your fund.
fund, you have to have an
right,
IB
so anytime there's an initial fund line.
budget,
Budget.
right, whole fund budget.
Whole fund budget. And then the increase, decrease.
Yep.
Is increase in any fund line,
Not in
Any
any fund
fund-
line, but in a total, in a fund revenue,
any fund.
which then
Okay.
relates to several lines of expense usually. That's why
Okay.
I'm distinguishing line, because a line usually means one object code,
Okay,
right? All of
Yep.
this is one line.
yep,
So
Okay.
when a funding source increases, that's an increase bar.
okay,
Decreases, it's a
Okay.
decrease.
so
That's
it's
useful.
revenue related,
And it will always have at least 2 lines and often many more.
okay,
So if that makes sense.
okay. And maintenance is moving things about.
well,
What
no,
is
no
maintenance?
change in amount, but a change in categorization. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, they're intra-fund, right? So they happen within the same fund. So the total fund amount doesn't change. But
You have the,
either from one object to another object,
this,
or from one sub-function to another sub-function, or from a function to another function.
Okay.
Those are all considered maintenance. The only ones that technically the governing council has to approve is when it's from one function to another function. Your business manager, as I pointed out before, is very meticulous,
Mhm.
and she presents things that don't actually have to be presented. This bar could just be approved by her. No big deal,
Oh.
as long as Will agrees.
Right,
We'll
no,
have to sign off on it.
Jackie likes to do it and
That's right,
she
Right.
describes it as moving money around within operation.
that's right.
If that helps conceptualize the fiscal jargon associated with this
Okay.
kind of piece.
But if it's from one function to another, like from instructional to physical plant or something, then the governing council actually does have to approve it.
so this one is between functions.
It is between sub-functions. So interesting, these are both function 2000,
2000, yes, okay.
but within 2000, they are 2200 to 2400.
So up here, sorry, I should know this after sitting here for a year.
Hardly, this is, right?
So you
earn every year.
pointed- Yeah, you pointed up to here,
Yeah, to the
This
maintenance,
is
So,
the M that's right
the
there.
end, okay,
there's maintenance.
This is the bar, right? This is the bar number.
right, and the maintenance, I got that,
Okay,
but you didn't point to something that let me know that it was a sub-function.
I did not.
Okay, the sub-function part, that's why I got confused, because I thought that's what you were
You
saying.
had to pick that up.
Right, so the sub-function is because they're both 2000s. One of
Yep.
them's from 22 and one.
There are only 4 functions. It's a very easy chart of accounts. It's 1000, 2000, 3000, and 4000. That's it.
Got it. Well, no, I don't got it. I'll probably ask again. I'll probably ask again, but I've got it for now. And I have the bandwidth to ask questions. Sometimes I don't have the bandwidth to ask.
I've not noticed that, by the way.
Surely you have.
Well, the good news is you have a full year to do all the GC required training and you can you can do the budget one.
Right, again and again. Doesn't stick. Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering the question.
Yeah, thanks, Kristen.
I know less.
I think that was it that we discussed.
I could do.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jackie's at Disneyland.
Yes,
Happiest place on earth.
yes.
Next to this room.
This room's pretty happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll roll over this again. I mean, looking at the balance in bank account starting this fiscal year is significantly improved compared to the previous year. And just to show the full numbers, I think this is helpful to see some of these budget numbers here,
Yeah, but that includes capital outlay.
which is deceiving.
To see what it is, indeed.
And
That's right.
we are with haste going to utilize that capital outlay.
Yeah.
In preparation for part of the facilities plan is ensuring that we have a revolving door of capital outlay to support our project at Jose Barrios, which is a good segue into the director's report, right? Is that fair?
That is fair. Any questions for Crystal?
Can I ask just one more question?
Please do.
And it's big general question. And it's because Zev did the bike race thing and he had a chunk of money and he challenged me, like we were sort of competitive about it, like
Who did the bike race?
Zev.
Zev. Oh,
Right, and
Yeah,
he-
right,
and
right,
then
right.
so I think he raised, I don't know, $1,800, $1,000, whatever it was. And I think he came up and he just handed it to Kathy. And I wonder, when someone wants to make a donation, I didn't know what to tell. I was like, I'm not sure you heard of that, but whatever, it made it to wherever it needs to go. But do we have a protocol for that? No,
We get a receipt, which has a carbon copy, at least in the old days.
yeah.
no, it turned out you handed it to the right person.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
I didn't, he did.
He did.
Also,
Kathy.
he knows, yeah, exactly. I mean, he totally knows what to do and I never like. So then from the GC side, so that's from the mom side of things, from the GC side of things, where do I see that? When, if somebody comes in and is like, I want to give Aldo $1 million, where do I see that?
The last time that happened, we said no thanks. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Too many strings attached. I remember what happened.
Crystal, do you want to answer that? I don't want to use.
Because I know the foundation, now we have a foundation and that's separate, right? And so I'm just curious about.
Previously, I mean, for my previous employment, we had separate accounts for that and I wouldn't know where it would go on the operational side, but
Okay.
like you said, it would be receipted, first of all.
Right, it would be, yeah, and I'm sure it was. I'm not telling on it. I'm not doing anything other than
Yeah.
it's the personal experience and
Right.
so.
But
it
isn't
just
there a
helps me ask the
donation
question.
Yeah.
funding code?
Yep.
It sure was. Sure was.
Okay,
29102?
Yep.
Okay.
And then from wherever that, once it gets into the donation, well, I mean, Harry, correct me, you have the most knowledge. of
Oh, you're
this.
talking a different fund. We
Yeah.
would not put that in a different fund.
No.
There
okay.
is 29102 for big private
Big-
donations,
Okay,
but this would go in 11,000.
okay.
And then there is an account code. I think it's 41920, but something like that for that revenue.
okay, and so it would be here, contributions and donations
Bingo.
from private sources,
Oh, I came so close, 41920.
yeah,
Yep, that's it.
and then
That's
we
the one.
just see it and it would just kind of pop up there, okay.
So in that figure is the monies that raised.
He's like, how much money did you raise, Mom? Cause I wrote it last year, I think, as a donation for the Alex and Martin Fund, and I raised
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 and I felt really great about myself. I'm raising that. And
That's
so we
good.
were talking about it the other day and he's like, I raised $2,000. I was like, you.
It's
Beat
always
me.
next year.
I know.
It's always
We'll
next
see,
year.
we'll see what we do next year.
That's a good question.
Where the auditors get concerned is when staff members are involved. So Zev and you, especially Zev, if he walks in off the street and has one, that's fine,
No
right?
problem.
There's nothing else to be done, but if a staff member is gonna be involved in the fundraiser,
Hmm.
there is a process. That's
Oh,
more
okay.
complicated
Okay,
and we've run into trouble before
okay.
when staff members have just raised money out of goodwill.
Mhm.
And
And
told
then
them-
what happens?
The auditor writes it up as a finding, goes in our audit report, as we didn't handle that well. We need to have a procedure essentially to make sure that the staff member isn't using Aldo's name to pocket money themselves.
We donated race scholarship funds to the foundation, and we got around that. Which is an-
Right?
So that's why the found,
They've
so
got
that's,
their own deal.
so the foundation, okay.
And they are also audited, but different rules for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they
As of last
can-
year, this is the first, this might be
First
the
year.
first year they
Yep,
were audited.
First year
Okay.
they were audited,
Yeah.
yep.
And
And
they
they
can-
staff can't raise money for the school, it's just there's a procedure before.
Gotcha. And the foundation also can spend money differently.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and that's
Oh, yeah.
the good thing that's maybe a reason why to have a foundation around is because of,
100%.
right?
It is.
Okay.
On rare occasions, there are organizations that don't want to donate to a government entity. And that's another reason to have a foundation.
Okay, those are all my questions, I think.
Good questions.
Director's report.
I have one
Oh.
quick question. Did
My
we,
bad.
did we ever receive the bill for the bus?
That's hilarious.
Without the USB charge.
Probably not gonna, don't worry, I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Okay.
I don't think it's in this one though, because that was at the end of the last fiscal year.
I thought Jackie was just gonna do all the work herself.
Yeah, spray paint.
There it is.
But-
There's the.
Isn't, no, I guess not. Never mind.
See it in
I
there.
don't either.
We can go back to it's in the June 2026 budget report. Okay, moving forward. All right, director's report, except for Jim. Anyone guess the color?
Green.
Well,
Great.
I am,
Hey, Aaron, nicely done. Nicely done. For those not initiated into this light moments of humor and fun, you have to incorporate into the decorum of an official government meeting. I change the color of the director's report background each month and then see how closely people are paying attention, whether or not they can remember it. And then when I send the monthly newsletter out to all the students, families, and constituents of Aldo, I use the same color. And so that gives the governing council a chance to get ahead of what the next one will be. It's just fun. Just fun. And these are little 12.
0 for 12, and yet I pay attention
Surprised
closely.
I
The
can't
actual
remember.
text.
And we don't let Jim do it because he watches the recordings for the
Yeah,
minutes.
usually the day before the meeting. There was some lively debate. You said gray, others said institutional white. So.
Oh, right, we talked about that
Yeah.
at the meeting.
And yet I could not recall.
All right.
All right, with that good fun, we'll move into some highlights from the last month since our last governing council meeting. It's summer. There's, transition time at the end of the fiscal year. The majority of the work that we have been doing is around the facilities acquisition and transfer to Jose Barrios, as well as the big picture school stuff, budget, staffing, etc. So these are photos from everything you see in the photo on your left there. Which, for the sake of the being fair to the recording, I'll share my screen here. Well, let me do it.
It's thinking.
I'm probably making it do too much. But you will see everything on the left everything on the left is stuff that's already been moved into Jose Barrios.
Oh, okay.
So this week we started moving things. If you're familiar with the Jose Barrios, either from driving by or from looking at the thousands of pages of documents that we've accrued throughout this process. There's a large multi-purpose room with a big B on the side. We call it the B building for now until we have a better name for it. And that is our staging zone, as Silver Consolidated School District has not moved all of their teachers' equipment out of the building. And so out of respect for that process and to keep the lines extremely clear of what's Aldo's and what's Silver's, we are preparing everything to be moved into the building proper in the multi-purpose space. Silver's cleared that out for us. We've been able to use it. And since Jose Barrios is a single floor facility, it makes it easier so that when next week, when Silver does their final moving out of the building, we can then get carts and roll everything into the classroom rather than have to put it in trailers. So we're just getting ahead of the process. And on the week of the 20th is when the WNMU football team is gonna come and help us, and that's like our big moving process. But we, and a huge appreciation and shout out to David, our newest custodian, Rita and Adam for doing a ton of work on that. And we really made leaps and bounds for getting this done in a way that provides a lot of reassurance for confirming that we'll be out of this space, Rich Hall, by July 31st. So all looks good. And that's what we're on track for. And then to the question,
About building B,
building B.
as I recall, it needed a couple $100,000 worth of work
Yeah.
on its roof.
Yes.
How's it holding up to the monsoons?
Oh, it's great.
Oh,
So
good.
you'll see, actually, when I get to one of the other photos, I'll show you where
Okay.
the roof. And this is one of the beauties of having insider information from bringing in the previous custodial staff. The roof itself is fine, but there's some trees that are above the height of the roof. And if there is not consistent maintenance to remove the deciduous nature of them in the fall, you have a buildup and it clogs the drain, and then you have a problem. And so as long as that is addressed, there's no risk to property by having things in there during monsoon. And it is one of the things that capital outlay will address quickly, because that can be done while school is in operation, which is a beauty and one of the 100 challenging factors in meeting all of the needs of the PSFA and the NMFA while still ensuring we're offering a good educational experience, because you don't want to be doing painting the interior of a building when you're having class. But I'll show you the little roof.
Could you do like a little repelling unit in CO and have the students clean out those guys?
You'll be happy to know that the climbing ropes for the old traditional gym class, climb the rope, ring the bell,
Yeah.
add your name to the list, are being retained with the building.
Excellent.
Climb to those rooms.
Did you really?
That is
Somewhat less challenging for high school students.
amazing.
Oh my God, I can't imagine that. Yeah.
That is
It's
amazing.
flying into them. I do not climb them. No. Not.
So that will be, well, you have an opportunity to do it again. We'll see how things have
And
changed.
climbing walls, pretty, that is still there.
So there, of course, yes, yeah,
Oh, really? In the cafeteria?
yep. Yeah, there's like a bouldering traverse wall in there.
I thought
They-
that was coming down.
There was a pegboard and they were really excited about, they wanted to retain that, and so they are keeping the pegboard, which is fair. That's, I can argue with that. And then here, a topic that has come up, I think, in a few governing council meetings is one of the more challenging tasks to complete as our closing requirements for this commercial property closing, public property closing, is the survey. I happened to be at Jose Barrios when they were completing part of the survey, and so I was like, I'm gonna stop and take a photo, and so I had to ask, hey, go back into that position and pose for this. So I did ask, and we're on track to have that completed by the 17th. And it's needed by the 20th in order to ensure our title commitment. And so we are continually in these very narrow margins, and that's been the theme throughout this entire process. But that being said, we're looking good.
Are they working early in the day before the 2 o'clock monsoon?
Oh, well, Jackie and I, when I was out for some family stuff in the previous week, Jackie and myself, we've been squeaky wheels.
Yeah.
And this is the local folks. And so I feel confident that they're gonna
Yeah.
make it a priority to complete it. Okay, next piece here. So here's another photo of all of the furnishing and equipment that we've moved into the building B. And this ceiling tile that's removed right here was removed to inspect and keep an eye on potential water damage. So that's just, I wanted to follow up on that little comment there. But yeah, generally we filled that room up with stuff, using our own equipment and our own staff. And it's been, yeah, a really great process. So again, appreciation to them. They get as much commendation for that as I think is probably not even enough, but yeah, I see the hard work that they've done. So thank you. Thank you, folks. You're out there. Enrollment forecast. We're looking at about 200 right now, with a few on the waiting list for grade levels that are full. And the high school is full. We're still have room in 6th and 7th grade. And I have full intention and again, confidence that we will be butting up against that 210 max enrollment number come August 10th for our first day of school. We have not been super aggressive so far during June with marketing to potential students for a few reasons. One, I think that people are not often thinking about school in the month of June, and our primary social media and marketing people are all on summer break during that time. And so I want to honor their break and not be too bothersome. And we're going to do a final full court press for this last bit of July and see what that does.
What's our sixth grade number right now?
22.
We're almost
nice.
there.
24
Nice.
is
The
the
magic
comfort threshold,
Yeah.
and I am planning, I mean, we have not signed that contract yet for the second teacher.
Huh.
But we have the letter of intent for that to happen, so it's just a matter of ensuring that we get to that point. And that will likely be something that's done next week.
Would you at any point open it to those waiting list high schoolers to come?
Definitely. So when I say full, all of the high school classes have 30 students in them right now, which is about ideal. We could go to 32, 34 potentially. And so let's say sixth grade gets to 25 and our enrollment for August 10th is looking like 205 students. We would then bring in those extra 5 to get to that max point. Because, you know, it's very important fiscal operations, and a huge part of the reason to not have 200% in this current facility is because it's just wildly uncomfortable and doesn't work because it's so small. I mean, we're at 10,000 square feet here. Jose Barrios is 40,000 square feet. And so when we have that opportunity, it makes the most sense to maximize our efficiency and fill it up. And it's a good move. So that's our plan for that. Okay, and at any point, please interject with any questions. I've said a lot of the facility pieces there. Made some notes. Let me see if there's anything that I'm forgetting. So we will be out of Ridge Hall at the end of this month. This will come up later on, but we have negotiated this month of rent in Ridge Hall. The university wanted to charge us $12,000 for this month to rent this facility. Did not want to do that. They want to continue operation of this. They're going to do their own renovation to turn this back into a dorm potentially. And so they had a vested interest in some of the equipment that we acquired during our tenure here. The key piece of that for this conversation is the camera infrastructure. So since we have negotiated that part out with Server Consolidated, and we've already worked with Mr. Ben Potts, thank you, Ben, to ensure that we have a unified camera system for Jose Barrios. By that, I mean, you know, you can have different camera companies of different generations and piece them together. And we made sure that Jose Barrios is all on the same system. And so all we have to do is have a central processing unit to compile all that data and allow us to view it. We don't have a need for these cameras anymore. In fact, it would be more expensive and more cumbersome to remove them. And so it was, again, following the philosophical theme of what makes the most sense for everyone involved. In this case, it was the cameras. And so at the end of Dr. Maple's tenure, we came to that agreement. And so that's how we are in this space right now. And we will be fully out of here by the 31st. So I just wanted to clarify that before we get to the action item on that. Later on in the agenda, you probably remember this. This was an action item where the governing council had to approve our charter amendment location change request. That was up for, well, supposed to be up for approval by the PEC in their July meeting. And they have decided to not have a July meeting. So therefore, they're not able to vote on us amending our contract, but they did produce a letter, which I can share, that says,
August 21st, right?
what?
Was that their date, August 21st?
I think that sounds correct.
Yeah.
Yes, they will vote on it in August, but they sent a preliminary letter that says we recommend this approval with a relatively robust backing that it's going to happen, basically. And we sent them about 150 pages of documents to go with that as well. And so there's no reason for that to be any question or concern, but it seemed like an important thing to bring up. For our facility move, I don't have it on here, but the IT infrastructure is obviously a huge piece, as we're now going to be hosting and managing our own IT system. We were going to use a repurposed firewall from another public school district, and instead we went ahead and bought a brand new one. And because that would keep our timeline with a more comfortable margin for shenanigans. And so the firewall has arrived, we've connected it, and it is ready to roll. Western New Mexico Communications is going to be our service provider, is ready to go. The only holdup, we can have internet next week. The only holdup is WNMU, actually. Just again, to provide some context to that. State of New Mexico has a thing called the State Education Network, where they wanted to offer broadband internet access to schools across the state particularly those in rural areas where it's difficult to acquire that sort of thing. And so they set up little hubs in various regions, and the one in Silver City is being hosted by WNMU. And so WNMU has a closet that is filled with IT servers, infrastructure, cables, etc. And one of those little boxes is for the state education network. It's called a node, the SEN node. And they need to go in there with W&M Communications and take a cable and plug it in, and then we have internet access. It is that simple. However, WMU has to allow them to come in and do that. And WMU is looking to charge all of the entities a fee to access their closet to plug in their cable. And so we're waiting for that process to be worked out so that we can move forward. That is our only holdup on the internet. Yeah.
Are there any concerns or connections as far as like the WNMU data breach that happened and things being held hostage or such? Is there any risk of that affecting other schools in the area if that ever happened again, or?
Not for us, and since we're gonna have our own firewall, that's our own
Yeah.
security, plus what WNM will manage for us.
Okay, so even
So
though it's there in the closet.
it's not connected. It's just the hub. So the cable goes from Jose Barrios to WNMU to WNM Communications. Questions?
So I thought the state education network was funded by the legislature.
Oh, it's all public money.
Why is it legal for Western to charge us a fee?
We're not sure that it is, and they're not looking to charge us. They're looking to
In
charge.
effect, they're
them.
charging us.
Yeah, they're looking to charge SEN and or WNM Communications, and that's it's beyond my purview
Certainly,
for that to
Yeah,
occur.
not consistent with my recollection of the spirit of the whole thing.
Precisely, and that is why I think for the sake of the greater learning of the world, it is worth bringing that up publicly for people to understand the background of how many entities are involved in these sort of things, and that at the end of the day, it's all public funding that was intended to benefit the public. So that's our IT stuff, mostly exciting, and I'm sure that the WMU piece will be worked out.
Ryan thinks that's a good idea to start with a brand new
Yeah.
firewall.
Yeah, and as he purchased the firewall for Lordsburg, he knows which one we need. Cool.
And did we already have an IT staff here, or we will?
Great question, and that's a nice segue into the staffing bullet point here. All right, and I am giddy with excitement to share this piece, that this is the last time that I am going to be setting up the Zoom and the live stream and all of those things, as next time our IT person, who's Morgan Cheney, who does IT at WMU also, will be managing all of that for us. So that's exciting, and part of his list of tasks as well is also consolidating our emails.
Oh,
And so the governing council can retain their Microsoft email, as that is slightly separate, but the whole school is going to shift to the Google platform entirely. And rather than have, if you're not familiar, Aldo has Microsoft 365 and Google G Suite services, because we use Google Drive. So we have emails for Google, and we have emails for Microsoft. And
let's be clear, the Google, say aldostudents.org.
so the current Google emails say aldostudents.org.
Mhm.
The future Google emails are going to say aldocs.org.
Which is what the current Microsoft
Correct.
emails say.
So we're going to take the Microsoft email address and put that into the Google format, and then phase out Microsoft for all folks, unless the governing council would like to maintain that, because there's a OneDrive. That can also be done on Google as well, but since the governing council has its own thing, it's the governing council's choice whether or not that happens.
does it cost us anything?
No change in the cost. It's simply for the sake of efficiency. The students will have all those student emails, and the staff will have all those CS emails, and it will all be done through Google, so that it's a one-stop shop.
So we used to have to pay Microsoft for a license up to 30, as I recall.
Yeah.
Could get all the things, and then up to, I can't remember, 300 could get some things.
Right.
So are we still paying for that?
We're going to maintain a Microsoft license, but it's going to be less expensive because we're not going to be hosting all of the data that we've had on there, because we still want to have Office.
So you're
we need
not-
Office.
You're not BSing us when you say the governing council keeps.
Oh, you guys can keep it, yeah. It's not gonna
There's
be,
no marginal cost.
nope,
Okay.
nope, and you know, that's up to you all. I have
Okay.
no qualms on that. It's purely for the general school piece there. I think that's it for IT. There's other stuff, but I'm already gone on for too long. The next one there is Synergy. For those who don't know, again, we have used Power School as our school information system, our SIS, for a while. Harry could probably speak more to the history of that, but the key piece here is that the state of New Mexico Public Education Department is requiring that all schools in New Mexico use the same school information platform, and they chose Synergy. If you elected to do it this current year that we're starting, it's free of cost. If you're to do it next year, it costs a fee. So in order to get ahead of the game and to save the money, we're doing it this year. Today was our go live day for Synergy. And so Cheryl, Ryan Cheney, and myself, and Kathy in the front office, we've done the transfer of all of our Power School information to Synergy, and now we are troubleshooting the process of how does the bell schedule look in Synergy versus Power School? Did all of the student and staff information make the transfer correctly? Do addresses need to be updated, roles updated, et cetera, and kind of like the Google consolidation, by swapping to Synergy, it gives us a chance to have a clean slate. And any staff that might have had, you know, a student who had graduated and still was in the system and is no longer relevant to be in there, all of that can be removed. So that's going to be a fair bit of work for the next couple of weeks also. But the
That's
fact
why
that
it's free though, right? Because we're guinea pigs.
yeah, that's right. We are the experiential learning of the fresh statewide.
Stuck there for a second.
I
I was like, am I gonna suffer? I know.
There's a few woofers here. I think we could probably.
We got you. Do it.
Well, that's not the platform you use to communicate with parents.
No,
That's-
no,
that's
good.
Parents.
Parent Square. That being said, parents will have access to Synergy, so you can see your child's grades, you can see
That
what the
was
schedule
true.
is. Yeah,
Our school.
Power School. Yeah, so this is a replacement for Power School. We're gonna continue to use Parent Square. Parent Square works great for us. Yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but it's really good program, so we're gonna continue to offer that. And the fact that we had the Synergy go live today and there was nothing catastrophic,
Right?
I think is a huge sign of success.
Good sign.
And again, I give all credit goes to Cheryl Head, our guidance counselor, and Ryan Cheney for doing a ton of work on that. It's been monumental. Cheryl came, you know, people working extra, and so I just, yeah, again, really appreciate that. Okay, next thing on my list, opening ceremony. I mentioned this at the last governing council meeting, but I want to revisit it, and I begin to share this with some of the public figures who will be invited to participate. On August 14th, the first Friday of school, we're going to have an opening ceremony, ribbon cutting, continuation of community school event for people. We'll get the big scissors out and the piece of whatever red tape, and we'll cut it. We'll have some speeches, et cetera, give some appreciation to the people that helped make this thing happen. And then that will be our final piece before we're just running with it and doing school and doing all that kind of stuff. So hopefully all can attend.
What time?
The time, so I can't remember the exact time, because it's gonna be there's a bit of a more event to it where there will be like the ceremony, and the specific timing of the ceremony is unknown because students are gonna be involved in this. And then there will be a little bit of an open house kind of conversational piece that will be afterwards, and maybe some light refreshments kind of thing. So I can't give you the specific time right now, and that's my fault. Yeah, but I will share that more, as it's one of those things that's evolving, but not critical to our ability to operate school. So it's not at the absolute top of my need to get done list. It's like a nice thing to do, but you know, having the internet is one of those.
Because we're leaving town that evening, and so it's in my calendar.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
figured we didn't have.
It will be
August 14th.
August 14th. It will be between 10 and 2 p.m.
Okay,
So I can narrow it down to that 4-hour window, but the specific outline of events is to be determined.
cool.
All right, moving forward, strategic plan. I was working with the lovely Dr. Anthony Smith.
Still.
Yes.
Wow.
Dr. Anthony Smith has, he loves Aldo. He has a passion for it. For those who don't know, he's a previous interim director and a real professional at designing strategic plans. And so he has designed our 2023 to 2028 strategic plan.
Wow.
And given the amount of changes that have occurred in the previous year and that are going to occur only seemed appropriate to revisit our plan ahead of time. And so we're working with him to determine how, because there's a lot of new roles, new facility, just a lot of new things. And so some of the pieces in the original strategic plan are now kind of moot or outdated. So he's gonna come down here and visit in person and work on the strategic plan. He said he's gonna incorporate it as part of a vacation, as he loves the Silver City area so much. So I thought that was very nice.
Cool.
After the move or before?
After the move,
After
the-
most likely.
I really would love for him to see the new place. That would be
Yes,
really
he's-
exciting.
He's
Can
very excited.
can we take him out to dinner or something?
That's a great idea. Yep. Yeah, he's been very helpful. It would be a very nice thing to do. I'll report back on that once we have things more confirmed. We're in
That's a great
discussion.
idea.
Yeah, I think that would be really great.
Well, last thing on my list, well, and then a couple other bonus things, but the last thing on the list is vehicles, the school bus. School bus was sent back to the manufacturer for repairs on the things that were not exactly as they should have been, like the USB ports. We're seeing if there's a possible, credits that can be given instead of the USB reports. Jackie's done a lot of this work, so don't take anything that I say as a complete concrete fact. We're gonna get a nice paint job on that to make it Aldo style rather than white. As a cert. Thank you for saying it.
Yeah, the students were gonna.
The student, well, we have other buses too. There's always, the only thing I know is that you cannot put stickers on the inside of your bus. They do not like when you do that. So we're not going to do that again. They do not like interior decorations, but exterior decorations
Really?
are totally great.
Who's the they that doesn't like it?
The,
Inspector?
yeah, the inspector. Yeah. And so one of our buses for the uninitiated has quite a eclectic selection of stickers from all those journeys
Yeah.
and travels. It's like really kind of a beautiful thing, actually. And they say, yeah, you shouldn't do that.
But you can't do it on the outside.
No,
No,
So the-
not
yep.
done. Okay.
no stickers. They don't like stickers on the public buses,
Yeah.
which, that's sad. I mean, I'm not gonna, there's too many fights to fight that. That's not the area that I'm going to. But I wanted to share that piece that's why if you look outside, that bus is not there because the work is being done on it. We do have the new vehicle, which we spoke about earlier in the year, and we have two older Suburbans, which is why vehicles are on here, that we're likely to put up for auction in the very near future. So we're gonna remove those from our asset list and replace those as we're paying for insurance on vehicles that we don't really use anymore. And it's appropriate for a public entity to release them when they are no longer valuable. And so we'll get to that in a future governing council meeting, but just wanted to share that piece as just maintenance.
You won't be using those Suburbans because of the new bus and having other vehicles.
Yeah, and one of them is in need of mechanical repair, and so we just don't use that one, and the other one has a similar situation where it's a little bit outdated now. We have newer ones. We don't have a need for it, so therefore we should free it up.
There's a maximum age for buses, right?
For buses,
Can be
yes.
serviced only.
Right.
Oh, are you talking about the Suburbans?
The Suburbans are more flexible, but you're right, the buses, and we do have a bus, that's why we have, hence the new bus. One of the buses is nearing its functional public use limit. Another quick little bonus thing that I just happened just at the end of the day today, so I didn't have time to put it in here. We are one of the recipients of the peer tutoring support grant funding, of which we requested $35,000 to support our initiative for upperclassmen to help with mentorship and leadership and guidance of underclassmen and middle school, specifically for experiential ed interns. We don't know the exact amount of the award yet, but they did reach out and say, you have been selected. We're one of 6 schools in the state to get selected for that. And we'll figure out how much that will be, but that's really awesome because as we've heard quite a bit in the previous meetings, the experiential ed interns with the middle school, very successful.
Is that a PED?
I can't remember if it's PED or not.
Okay.
I can't remember if it's PED or not. Yes, it is PED. I just remembered the little logo at the bottom of the seal. That's right. Huh. So that's
Nice.
that. Last thing I guess I'll say is that, I don't know if I said this in the previous meeting, but we successfully completed our previous fiscal year improvement plan as part of the charter renewal. So that's not a task that we have to do anymore. Probably remember Harry and I having to do things for that. But now for our charter contract, we are free and clear and good to operate. Once the PEC approves our change in location amendment. And with that little piece of positivity there, that's all I got for director's report. Questions? Thanks.
Thanks, Will.
Cool.
You thought of calling that the beehive, just as a better name for the.
I felt a lot of inspiration about the naming for that, and I don't want to do so with haste. I
We
want
have to make it
it's-
hexagonal.
Not the hive.
It's rectangular.
The
The little
the
cells,
rectangular
right?
solids, a real beehive.
Just paint and have.
Yeah, put a
They're
little,
all
like put a little black entrance place on it. Just-
Theoretically, you have 3 buildings,
Yeah.
so we'll see. We'll see.
How much fun.
That's really
That's a lot of naming.
Oh, and what happens, so there's one thing that was worth the governing council considering. A lot of folks in the public have been asking me about whether or not Jose Barrios will continue to remain open to the public
Park, as it were.
as a park, to use the playground and the basketball courts,
Should.
etc. I was thinking about making the fences a little bit higher and putting like a ring of barbed wire around them. I joke.
The
for the
sign that
public.
says it's ours.
I
now.
joke. I don't have an intention to remove that factor. My piece was going to be that where the basketball courts are that are going to be a parking lot, that those will have a higher fence for the sake of property protection, but the rest is, I want the governing council to consider that for what they think, and then
Yeah.
just down the road thought.
Discussion later, but that whole idea of a community school would support.
I think it's important.
The number of times I've taken my kids there to rollerblade and hang out and seeing the like multi-generational people and families who utilize that space out there now.
So it's wildly popular, so I think it would be it's worth a discussion, and I'm inclined to keep it public with the security measures that we have in place. Perhaps add some lights, ensure that the cameras are reasonably competent for a 360-degree coverage, and but again, it's not a thing that I just want to decide on. I think it's worth having input.
So one thing to consider is the appropriateness of the equipment.
Mhm.
The public might be expecting it to remain as elementary level equipment, and that will not be as relevant to our students as it was to those about it.
What happens?
So,
You like playground stuff?
so I mean, I am totally great with it being open, but I don't think we should keep equipment that our students aren't going to be able to use.
Yeah, and it's the reason, it's a good point. And then there are limitations to the transfer, because I've had folks ask about this for the playground equipment. There are limitations to the transfer of it. Once it's removed, another school would not be able to use it. Because of their rules and insurance around construction and things being new, etc. But it could be donated to a nonprofit, for example. Some of it I do think would be, pretty, I think you might be surprised by some of our students utilizing the playground equipment.
Oh, yeah, okay,
I think-
They would like to see all of it be retained.
okay,
And so it's one of those things where we don't have enough data. Let's operate,
perfect.
see what happens. And if there's like, this corner's never used, then let's not go to waste. We can give it to someone who will use it. And I will just see we'll see how
Not
things.
wanting equipment to get damaged because of age appropriate use of it, just
Right.
what it's built for. A lot of it's metal, but like.
Yeah, a lot of it's pretty new. A lot of it's really good stuff there. Yeah, I can't imagine that, well, people can break anything if they really want. But that's a reasonable consideration.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No worries, I asked the question, thanks. All right, on to old business, which I called old because we've dealt with the director's contract before. The contract, paragraph 5. I was just gonna read it so you know why this is on the agenda. It says the governing council and administrator, that's Will, agree to the following performance evaluation procedures and responsibilities. The governing council and administrator will mutually schedule a goal-setting meeting no later than the 4th Friday of July of each year of this contract. It's a 1-year contract. To mutually establish leadership goals for the school year and to finalize an evaluation instrument to be used to evaluate the performance of the administrator. The evaluation instrument will outline performance categories and the performance expectations for each. Following ratings will be used for each category, as well as the overall summative evaluation rating: unsatisfactory, needs improvement, satisfactory, and distinguished. So that's the context. within which we need to A, schedule a goal setting meeting, and B, delegate the creation of a draft evaluation tool so that we don't have to do that as a whole council. A, when can we meet?
I would like to do this next week, if that's possible, for the governing council.
So that's coming up with that tool.
Before
That's
then,
with that.
yes,
And well, the government would, like, we've done the, we've talked about this quite a bit, but if you look I think someone using the Elevate platform with some simplification as far as like rubrics and assessment go is, is a good starting. Oh,
hey, all right,
this is,
we're close to this
Peter
item.
Windsor, and we're getting close to his portion of,
Yeah. Yeah, you won't have to wait too long.
thank you, Peter.
Yep.
So, Will, you think that the creation of the draft evaluation tool will not be onerous?
I do not think.
And
it'll be
then we can
onerous.
therefore
Well, it's up to you all. You can
have
make
this
us onerous
meeting.
as you want.
Just that.
I loved what we did last year, but that was ad hoc.
Well, I think that can be an incorporated factor, an
Yeah.
open discussion is a valuable tool to understand some of the qualitative components of this role.
You mean like what we did 2 months ago?
That is what I mean,
So this,
last fiscal year.
but this does differ significantly in Will's talking about what his goals are for the upcoming year, and
So
we've got a good sense of what we'll be looking for and how we'll evaluate it, but really, this seems like something that's mostly coming from Will. And I know I have a list, I just came across in my papers, a list of your goals. for the year. So, I'd like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
For your sake and.
okay, so let's start with date, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Next week ranges from the 13th to the 17th. Anybody
Yeah.
want to discard any of those dates?
What time of day are we? What time of day are we talking?
Any time of day during standard business hours is reasonable for me. And if I can also be flexible, that doesn't really matter a ton.
Monday's not great, the rest of the week.
Wednesday and Thursday evenings are out for me.
Wednesday during the day,
Wednesday during the day or
Does
Thursday
that work?
during the day?
I think so.
Wednesday's your preference?
Wednesday during the day, if we can do
That
that.
would be
let's do
July
that.
15.
Yeah.
I have a meeting at 10 and a meeting at 1.
About how long would the afternoon meeting do you think? The 2:30.
2:30 could probably work,
2:30 works for me.
or 3.
Oh.
Could we just do 3? Like does that work?
Jim's going to,
Depending on how late I have a child appointment
Okay.
at 4.
Oh. Is Thursday better?
I can do either one.
I also can do either or.
Thursday is more open.
Thursday during the day would, if that's more open, I can certainly.
Thursday, 2 p.m.
Thursday at 2.
Thursday the
Do that.
16th.
Excellent.
So delegation, the creation of draft evaluation tool. There's some existing expertise in this area, which I believe is Jim and Alex. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys have put a lot of time into this. Do you want to leverage that expertise?
I think Alex probably has to do it.
Cause she's not here.
She needs
Yeah,
one, she needs one more task before she goes.
It seemed like we were working on this. Alex
Yes,
was dredging up some of that old material anyway. I have to talk to her about another matter unrelated to governing council, so I'll bring that up with her.
okay, I totally don't mean to railroad you, it just, that's the
No,
thing
it's
that made
it's a
most sense to me.
secretarial duty, I think, to some degree, and we've got it 94% done, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anybody else want to join in on that? Other than just meeting?
How?
We'll probably do it via, a draft and
Sure.
let people comment on it, so we could not take up a
Yeah.
lot of your time if you
Sure.
want to help it. Okay, cool, thanks. Sarah.
Yeah, if it was in, I don't know what sort of format, hold on.
So.
Yeah.
The issue to keep in mind is if there's 3 of us, that's a quorum.
Oh.
And you can share information one way, but you can't discuss without a public notice.
Is that true for?
Even for writing an
communities?
evaluation. That's like a committee task to me.
If we're
is a
not
committee,
all
And the
on
committees, that's why committees have two governing council members. That's exactly why.
If we're not all on the page editing at the same time, is that an issue? Like if it was a Google Doc sheet?
It is an issue, and I'm not saying anybody would push it.
No.
But, yeah, there's such thing as called a rolling quorum.
Okay, right,
It's
right.
when you're not all doing it at the same time, but you all are touching the same subject in sequence. Yeah, evaluation of the director is a public. I mean, the actual opinions are not public, but the process is a public thing.
Let me talk to Alex and see, she may say, oh my God, I'm trying to get ready for thus and such, or she's got a trip or something, then the two of us can.
Okay.
Yeah, I know,
What
we need to
exists.
complicate it.
And other than that,
It's helpful.
what the committee can do is a one-way sending out of what they've done. And then when we come together to meet with Will, we are prepared. And then, we do that in public meeting, and then we go into closed session if we have to.
Mhm.
But we won't be evaluating him, so I suspect it will be an open session the whole time. Okay,
All right,
thanks, Jim.
Thursday at 2.
Who's there too?
Week from today.
All good on that one?
Mhm.
New business. A, introduction of governing council candidates. And there are two candidates with us, one in person, one virtual. I'll start with Kate, because Kate's been here this whole meeting. Kate Bradley, you want to say anything about yourself? You don't have to.
First of all, I want to really congratulate you all on an amazing dedication and spinning so many plates. I am here to hear what's going on, and Erin asked me to consider serving on the governing council, and my education and profession is in natural resource planning and management, so the mission of Aldo is near and dear to my heart. I am also sticking my toes in the water of education with my work with yoga. And so I am fascinated to see how these wheels are turning, and, you know, really what accountability goes to the state organizations and how to navigate that and still get to do something. And I don't know really what else to say. You know, we're all busy. It's easy to say, oh, I'm busy, but to watch what's going on here and to know who's got other stuff going on, it's there's some hubris, but to what's busy actually. And I don't know what else to say. I'm really, really impressed. Really impressed with the institution by this governing body. Thank you. And just a side note, I asked Will to sit on a board that I'm on, the Southwest New Mexico Arts, Culture, and Tourism Council, and he said yes without even hesitating. And I thought, oh my God, Will can say that, yes, that fast.
It's a character flaw.
I need to be, you know, step up to the plate. So those are my factors for being here and considering this.
Well, it's illustrative of how little authority you'll have as a member of this council
Good.
to know that I told him not to accept. it. I said, Will, no,
Stop saying, yeah.
don't do that.
There's so many fun things to do. Come
Yeah.
on, you gotta try.
Yeah. Until it's not fun, until somebody sticks a stick in your eye.
It's a different kind
It's
of
all
fun.
fun and games,
Different
so.
So have you received an application packet from Alex?
I have received an application and I haven't delved deeply into the email.
Okay,
My questions are, what's the orientation process? And there were two other questions that I asked her, but I can't recall them right now, but I mean, my participation on the other board was walking in blank, and there's a lot that's still blank, and I don't think that's very effective.
no,
For this kind of work. And so I am curious about the orientation process and, you know, how to be effective and informed and, yeah, not just sit around and stare and rubber stamp. This is too important, that I think.
So can I go ahead and answer that, at least in part?
Please, yeah.
And maybe this is relevant to Peter as well. First, we don't have a well-oiled set
Yes.
orientation process, right? So I want to be clear about
Yeah,
that. Every single time this happens, we somewhat make it up as we go along.
right,
On the other hand, we
Yeah.
do have materials that we provide a new member. And Alex has passed along her materials to me.
okay,
So I will be responsible for getting those in shape to give to new members. And second, I would recommend that one of the departing members perhaps work with
yeah,
the incoming members to go over those materials and to answer questions as a running start. I don't know if anybody wants to add any thoughts to that, Jim.
Well, is this the appropriate time to mention the onerous 10-hour state, the NNPED requires
yeah.
that all
Alex.
charter school board members, a 10-hour training the first year and then 5 hours to keep it up every year.
Yeah,
They're not stellar courses. It's doable.
Well, Aaron might speak to the first year one
Well,
better
yeah.
than you or I. I agree
'Cause
that
you're-
our continuing ed are not stellar courses. But what did you think about the beginning?
I didn't do that.
Oh,
So I
well, okay, since you're leaving already, I guess we can't really enforce it.
that was on the spreadsheet.
Is that why you're taking this job? Just so you.
I don't have
Quick
to,
note of that, does not complete training.
I thought that would come sooner in our meetings about being employed.
Oh,
That's
oh
hilarious.
my God. So
Hi.
not that many years ago, the PED would not allow you to vote on any
Right.
governing council action until you had, I think at that point it was until you had started and you know, as long as you were in good standing, continuing this training,
Yeah, I technically started.
they stopped doing that. So
See that
there are
way.
no longer restrictions like that. Is part of why I guess I was clueless.
Yeah, no, it was, I remember looking at the spreadsheet a while back and there was a 0 there. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
all
aware.
right. Well, the
I
beginning, the
think Will
beginning
was-
might not be as bad.
I think it's a
as Jim
plus.
portrayed.
yeah,
Don't do as you're told.
the information of the, you know, they're not really looking, it's good. That doesn't mean I'll skip it because I think that kind of stuff is important,
I
but
agree.
also, Carrie, you don't need to polish up what's existing. I'd be happy to read through it and that would be a great filter. I don't understand what this means. Rather than you,
Yeah, if I could also just add one thing,
Yeah.
I think asking questions of the entire council during governing council meeting has gone really well for me and
right,
understanding.
yes.
a lot
what
of
just
things.
happened,
Yes, exactly, and so
exactly, right.
I sort of, have said before, like, I'm gonna ask 3 questions every single time I
Right,
know
yeah.
it, or whatever, you know what I mean? 'Cause I
Right.
think that helps everybody's
agree,
understanding, so.
Totally.
I agree with you, you kind of wanna know what you're getting into, right? So the
Yeah.
orientation is
Yeah.
helpful, but also I would say to any new governing council member, like, don't save your questions,
Right.
like, get them all out there because. I think that's helpful to everyone,
Yeah,
so.
and that reminds me what I was thinking, what my other question was. Is what's up now? What's this year about? You know, what will we be working on? So that I can figure out whether that works, whether I have anything to talk about. And I understand transition is
Yeah.
probably the fire hose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could philosophize upon that for 30 to 45 minutes probably, but to keep it concise, I'll say, we are all efforts focused on closing the legal real estate agreement
Yeah.
for the Jose Barrios acquisition. And then the next step from that is ensuring that we are compliant and efficient with our PSFA, Public School Facility Authority. They assess all of the school buildings in New Mexico. There are requirements for us to make the necessary improvements to Jose Barrios. So there's a lot of
coordination in that. Right, yep, bringing in a roofer and repaving a basketball court, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's the programmatic, the philosophical shifts, which is really what is near and dear to me. And that is based around this idea of buy-in and student involvement and student participation, and this idea that experiential and outdoor education is not a school bus that you ride on, but a thing that you are actively involved in. So when it comes to planning, facilitating, leading, debriefing, cleaning up, all of that is essential for me that students are involved with. And so the model that we're shifting into next year includes things like having a senior seminar and shifting our backpack operations, so that historically we've had 12th and 9th grade students in a backpacking group together. Next year, this year actually, it'll be 12th and 10th grade and 11th and 9th grade, with the upper levels having leader of the day tasks while out in the field and planning the routes and planning their grade level trips. Each grade level goes on a 4 to 6 day trip to various regions, Mexico. We tend to do more participation in Mexico, partnering with some conservation groups down there. So it's that kind of involvement, and that's the same deal for staff as well. One of the other big shifts besides the student experience, which is buy-in and experiential education, is the staff experience, and that is actually more about the care and making the job more sustainable for staff by removing historical responsibilities that might be able to be taken on by Crystal, Jackie, myself, other members of the admin team, so that working at Aldo is fun and enjoyable, and you don't feel like you're totally burned doing the trips, doing the outdoor ed. I mean, takes a lot. So making the teacher's role more sustainable and providing the resources for them to improve their professional skills, both in the outdoors and in the classroom. One of the things that this group has heard quite a bit, but is probably new for our candidates, is a full rehiring of staff for math and working with the Southwest STEM hub to increase our math efficacy outcomes. So our softest spot of academic success is in the world of arithmetic. So focusing on that and then leaning into the things that do really work well, like science. And generally, the goal from when I'm ready to make my departure from Aldo is that there are systems in place and that the record is there, so that when someone leaves, they don't take all of their human knowledge with them. There's a lot of oral tradition at this school, which has a lot of value, but to make it so that you don't have these pinch points and these keystone people that are holding it all together, but generally it's more robust, more professional, aligned with the standards in outdoor experiential education. So just kind of bringing up all of those pieces that throughout the year, I have seen where the soft spots are. And it's sort of connected to that experience as well. And that was already longer than I was going to go on for. So hopefully you get an idea of some of the things that we're looking at.
Yeah. Can I mention just one thing on that? To the place where the governing council kind of gets to get in there and get your hands dirty a little bit, so to speak, is by sitting on committees.
Yeah, right.
With staff members. And so have you read about that in the thing? So I think each of us are required to sit on 2 committees. So that's another thing to consider. Those committees meet once a month on a regular schedule.
Some are quarterly, some are twice a year.
Okay, some are quarterly, some are twice a year.
And I'm looking at Harry only because that's one of the things to make it more sustainable, is a lot of those, I'm eliminating some committees entirely. For example, facilities is a committee that's not necessarily relevant right now and can be included in other things, and making the meetings more quarterly or once every other month. As there was abundant feedback from staff that they felt like that was too much and that other people were already doing those tasks.
The good thing about governing council sitting with those committees, however frequently they meet, is that that's where we get an opportunity, or that's where I have found I've gotten an opportunity to interact with staff and kind of gives me a better sense of what's happening at the school, and then engages me in the way that I feel like I can be useful, right? So for me being a math person, right, like I can get in there and talk about math and what we maybe want to do or whatever and things like that. So yeah, so I just wanted to bring up the committees as a way, because on the governing council itself, right, sometimes you can feel detached. But I think we do a pretty good job of interfacing with the staff through committee work, and then, I'm always thinking of ways to come to school.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that. Also, Tanya and Jim led backpacking trips before, joined programming, offer tutoring, come anytime, all governing council members always welcome to come do a yoga lesson with students or, participate in some form of experiential ed classroom, whatever. I think that's really important that, this school is not a triangle with a leadership person at the top. It's a circle and everyone has an opportunity to make their face seen and their voice heard in that way.
Do governing council members do a background check? I don't remember.
If they're going to go backpacking, they do.
Yeah, I mean, I know I have.
Yep.
But I couldn't remember under.
The requirement is if you are gonna be interacting with students.
Yeah, if you're doing these stuff.
A student coming to give a report doesn't qualify.
Right.
All right, Peter,
Thank you, Kate.
thank you for your patience.
Yeah, no worries. Nice to meet you guys. I'm Peter Windsor. I'm calling in from Fairbanks, Alaska, way up north. I've been guiding, I have a guiding company up here that I run in the summers. And I'm about 2 years into living in Silver City. I live there with my wife, Stephanie Leslie, who's a family medicine doctor in town. And we absolutely love Silver City. And I've met Will through outdoor adventuring that I do. I do climbing, caving, canyoneering, anything with the sea, apparently. I don't know. And yeah, I heard of Aldo before I actually met Will, and then I met Will and Jay Hemphill and people from New Mexico Wild and others that spoke very highly of Aldo. And so I thought, if I'm dedicated to living in Silver full time, apart from my little foraging in here in Alaska. So I thought, a good way for me to use my background and experience is to help out Aldo in any way I can. And I think governing council seems to be a good fit for that. I did get the package, so I'm going to submit that when I get back to Silver. I come back to Silver this Sunday, so next week you get the package from me. I can give a short rundown on my background. I'm a scientist and conservation person. I have a PhD in oceanography, climate science. I worked all over the world. I worked with the United Nations. I taught at MIT in atmospheric sciences, oceanography. I ran a big lab up at University of Alaska Fairbanks here for almost 20 years, hatching a lot of master's and PhD students and watching them, it's a bit like being at the charter school. It's just, you cry more when they actually graduate, I think. Maybe more, I'm not sure actually. They cry too because they're finished. So that's another beautiful thing to see. Yeah, I worked in conservation. I used to be a professor and then I switched to conservation later in my career. And I worked with, I was the director at World Wildlife Fund. I worked for a number of NGOs, served on a ton of boards in all sorts of aspects. Fundraising, done a lot of development fundraising. So that's one thing I thought I could maybe bring to the table for you guys to help out with. Done that for multiple organizations, World Wildlife Fund, Alaska Wilderness League, Sitka Science Center, a number of organizations that I helped fundraise and successfully so. Still very passionate about science and outdoor education. I started a couple of outdoor science clubs here for University of Alaska Fairbanks, including the student rec program. I started an avalanche center to teach people avalanche safety. So we took them out winter camping at 40 below, which is always exciting. We didn't lose a single hand or finger. And that's my track record. Yeah, a lot of work that I think aligns with Aldo. I can go on and on, but I think you get the picture. You can read my CV when I submit the paperwork. Since I come to Silver, I've been, my kids are grown up. I had 2 boys. One passed away, unfortunately, a couple of years ago. But my oldest son, he's 32. And they went through the school system here in Fairbanks, Alaska. We grew up in Sweden. That's why I speak funny. And so, if I get on the governing council, I would probably, instigate Swedish Meatball Day for all of staff and things like that. It seems appropriate. But I watched my kids go through the Swedish school system at young years and then the American school system. And one thing that was very different between Sweden and the US was in the US, where we lived first on Cape Cod, East Coast, Boston area, and then up here in Fairbanks, Alaska, where you think it will be extremely outdoor centric, but in all those areas, a lot of good outdoor connection and education was missing compared to Sweden. In Sweden, you're born with a backpack and a pair of skis, basically, and if you're not outdoors all the time, parents will come and remove the teacher forcibly and make some change. So I was excited about the sort of mission and vision of the Aldo, and yeah, really want to help you guys to be strong, do good outdoor gear stuff. I can certainly help with fundraising. I can help participate in outdoor activities. I'm fairly confident in my outdoor skills. I'm a guide in Alaska. I've done climbing and skiing and hiking all over the world. So yeah, that's me basically. And yeah, excited to hopefully join you guys.
So I want to say a few things. First, you will definitely fill a gap. We've never had an avalanche expert here, and it's a major problem for us.
Honestly, yeah.
Just kidding, of course, about the avalanche. Super honored that both of you are interested. That's really, it really speaks well for the whole institution. So thanks. And
My
I
pleasure.
think-
You'll see my paperwork here soon. And I think I would also like to, I don't think I would be as gung-ho if I didn't know Will pretty well. And because I know him well, I also need to know if he needs help because, he does say yes too often.
heard that.
So we have to, help Will, Will, the first responsibility of any DO director is to think about the no word more often.
Yeah.
That's important. So you don't spread yourself too thin. But knowing Will as a person and an outdoor man and just the gentleman he is, I think that got me, I think that pushed me over the limit to sort of like, I want to really help out. Because
Let me just say one more item about history.
Mhm.
Your observation about Cape Cod and then Fairbanks was exactly what was happening here. And a large portion of the very large group that came together to create Aldo was motivated primarily by the fact that here we are in the edge of the Gila Forest, the gateway to the Gila Wilderness,
Mhm.
and the public schools did almost nothing except obstruct teachers who wanted to get out there. So that
Classic. Yeah.
is the history for about a third of the impulse to start the school. So
Mhm.
I'm glad you share that.
Yep.
And-
No, you're welcome. But just to finish that off, I think, I think with you having Will on board now as the director, I feel like this is probably the perfect time for me to join and help you guys. I feel like you have good momentum, you have good wind in your sails, you're doing things in a more appropriate outdoor safe way too in the outdoors. And I feel like that's a good place to be. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it. Enjoy your time in Alaska. We'll see you soon.
Yep, sounds good. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, on to B, election of governing council officers for this school year. I am willing to continue as chair and I'm willing to change offices.
I just wanted to follow on.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Secretary.
You're a martyr.
How are you feeling? Incumbent vice chair.
Feeling fine about vice chair. Now I'm getting the hang of the title of the position. Yeah, I feel like I'm just getting my feet under me, actually, in the whole governing council stuff, so I don't feel that I want to change anything.
All right, and you're falling on your sword to stay as secretary.
Yes. Just wanted to make that gentle statement, but I continue.
So do we make a motion to?
Yeah, it seems appropriate for Aaron to make the motion since all the rest of us.
She can't vote. She hasn't completed the 10
No, they
years.
removed that as a.
That's right.
That.
I feel so guilty.
You know.
I had my own experiences of last year.
Yeah.
So I'm making a motion to elect all of you in your current roles to maintain those roles, yes?
Sounds good to me. Re-election. Re-election.
Yeah.
I
Um,
make that
I'll
vote.
second your motion.
So,
Any discussion?
Congratulations.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are duly re-elected.
I do feel sad at the idea of if Kate and Peter join, the idea of missing that opportunity to get to know the board as it grows that way.
You can be staff rep.
I can,
Yeah.
sure,
That's
can
true.
appreciate it through staff members' eyes.
All right, well, we have some potentially lengthy items and I'm not sure how to make them less lengthy. We'll see. But these are required items, starting with reviewing the list of the Public Education Commission's annual compliance requirements. I have here a document that Will and the board chair, Will and I must fill out and sign that says three things, and I'll go through them one at a time, I guess. At a public meeting, the governing board of the school has reviewed A, the list of annual compliance requirements in the performance framework, organizational framework, 3.C. compliance with legal requirements. That is this document. 1, 2, and a portion of a third page that somehow Will had. I have searched for my own version of this and I could not find it. So I'm
Yeah.
curious where you found it.
I'm
Oh,
not sure how I got it either.
you've got the right one. It's the 2026, 27. The only ones I could find were old. But there's actually less for us than there was in the past. We need to complete this by September 1, which means at our August meeting. So one option is you all look this over without, anybody who's on the governing council, look this over in OneDrive. It is not there yet. And we come back in August and deal with it then. Or we could actually go quite rapidly through these and get done with it today. Which would be my preference, because there are other things on here that we're gonna have to do the second year. So at this point, would you rather know the other things we have to do before deciding about how to do this? Or just make a decision about how to deal with this?
I'd like to know.
The other items? B, we are going to assure that we have reviewed the charter contract, including the performance framework and mission-specific goals negotiated by the school for the charter term. So these have not changed from last year. The charter contract is on the lengthy side. It's not horrible. It is in the OneDrive folder, not at a meeting date, but on its own. So in the governing council root directory, I would call it. And there it is, Aldo Leopold Charter School contract. It's a PDF document. I have printed out the parts that we specifically have to review, which are the organizational framework, the financial framework, and the mission-specific goals. 1 page for goal 1, 1 page for goal 2. These I do not feel would be reasonable to address today. I do think you have to look at it in the Google Drive and, or print it out, whatever, and come next meeting ready to say that you've reviewed them.
I'll put them in the meeting folder for tonight.
I'm opposed to duplication on principle, but
Are they in there already? Are they in?
they are in the root directory.
Excuse me. Then I got
It's the charter school contract, which is in the OneDrive.
Yeah, I had that up and then I was gonna, cause
Oh, yeah, there you go.
recently, this is our reporting from the previous year's mission specific goals. So this is,
Oh, so
it's basically participation and reflection of experiential education, to put it in one sentence. So I
And we
could
have the
put,
same exact goals this year.
and I
by
can
the-
put in the reporting was what I was gonna do. Cause I figured that would be interesting to see, oh, how are we actually doing?
Would you put those in next meeting's folder?
Sure, sure.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, it
Because
does.
next
That would
meeting is
work.
when we'll discuss it. Okay, so that's B. C, the final annual report from the Charter Schools Division and the annual report notice from the Public Education Commission, if available. Well, they're not available. Unless, will you have those on secret
What are
source
they?
also?
The,
The final annual report from the Charter Schools Division and the annual report notice from the Public Education Commission. It says even in the footnote here, at the beginning of the charter term, there may not be a CSD annual report and PEC annual notice to review.
yeah, I don't have the one for, because they have not completed the one for this year that
That's what I
came to a
thought.
conclusion, but I do have the previous year's version. And different, 2023, 2022, different CSD annual assessments.
Well,
That was all required for
I'm
this.
sure we're supposed to do the one from the most recent one.
Well, when it comes out, I'll put it into the.
Yeah, so the point, I guess, that I'm trying to make is that's also something we have to do next meeting. Because in this case, it's not even available, at least as far as I can find.
Mhm.
Okay, so those are the topics, and then we're gonna have to basically say that we believe we're in compliance with those things, or we think that we need to improve in some areas, and then we list the improvements that we think are necessary. By the way, if we do that, if we think there are improvements that are required, there is, again, a grant program the PEC offers that we took advantage of before. The one that we took advantage of before was for school administrators. They're adding a parallel program for governing councils. So we can get up to 10,000 to, well, I think it's 10,000. To make some improvement in our own work.
Mhm.
Oh, that's what they discussed at the last.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And in fact, there's a whole nother agenda item coming up related to that. So those are going to be choices that we have. I'm going to save the rest for later. Given that, do you want to try to go over these items that I'm telling you I think we could zip through?
Yes. Especially if it's attached to $10,000.
No, this is not.
That's not.
Now we're going back to A.
I thought we reviewed this to see if we need to make improvements. Now
Oh.
I'm in a different.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. The improvements could be to any of those three things. Yeah, you're right, could be to this. That's true.
It might help us figure out where we could apply
Okay.
for $10,000.
Yeah, in which case I'll retract the verb zip. Because it could take longer. If we think we have something like that, yeah, Jen.
I respect your recommendation. I'm more inclined to want to look this over. That could be a function of like the learning style, but I really would like to look at it.
Okay,
I wonder, because I do understand we have different learning styles. I like to try to do as much work here as possible so that I don't have to take it home for homework. So I'm wondering how late we want to be here. And if we can build in a little time for think, pair, share. So where you read it yourself, right? Talk with an individual and then come together and discuss it. It just depends on how much time we want to spend. Like maybe we need to set ourselves up some guardrails for how long we want to be here this evening.
7:05 now.
I have a direct answer. I'd love to leave about 10 of 8. I have an 8 o'clock social engagement.
And you're
They
saying
know I might be late, but that's my preference.
you feel like the other action, like the other things will not take long. After this.
B and C, as it were.
They can't even be
Is
done.
that what-
No,
No.
I mean, like, well, we just have. to-
Oh, no, I don't feel that.
I feel
I
like
did not mean to say that at all.
also B and C
We
on,
have a long agenda.
yeah, I feel like B and C on your list
Yeah.
does not correspond to any B
That's
or C
correct.
that I have here.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
So,
I was
It's
reading
a-
them out, A, B, and C.
okay,
Yep, that's the zone.
just so that, yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
so that it's
also
not
looked at it, it
confusing.
was like, that's.
I'm sorry, nothing.
Yeah.
No, the rest of the agenda is somewhat lengthy,
Uh-huh.
not, and this is just one item on the agenda, and the other one's on it. like this.
Some of those things I think will be relatively quick as it's relatively boilerplate, like the Open Meetings Act resolution. I also, I
Your
forgot to,
idea is this.
I want to throw this wrench into the discussion too, that might help people make decisions, which is following, I forgot to mention this during my report, my apologies for neglecting to mention this. When I was chatting with Sue, our counsel, she said, mention to the governing council, there's the possibility that we would have to have a special session prior for closing for things that are unforeseen at this time. So I'm putting it out there that there's the possibility of a special session between now and the 31st of July. I'm not putting one on the calendar, but I just wanted to have people's planning minds to say, okay, that might be something that happens. And so if we wanted to allocate more resources to this, we could potentially do both as long as we'll learn later on, we're compliant with the Opens Meeting Act. We have that flexibility to do that.
That would be my vote about pair share. What is it? Pair share?
Share.
Think, pair, share.
Yeah,
Think
teach
pair
us
share.
We could do describe, demonstrate, do as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It just means a moment to think about, because I hear Jim saying, I like to have a moment to think about it, please, on my own, right? And then have a conversation about it with another person, and then come together as a group.
Would doing that in a special meeting be acceptable to you?
That's fine. I just want to say, we just already put in a meeting for the
Uh-huh.
16th,
Right,
and
right.
so are we gonna be meeting every week? Because,
Stupid question.
which, if we are, we are. I just would like to sort of put that in, because
It's possible. I mean,
it's my birthday.
Well,
Which
we'll
one?
make sure to meet on that day.
Oh,
So we have to do the meeting that we're
Here's it.
planned for the 16th. I mean, we have these 31st deadline for a number of things, so I think it's tough to predict given the level of,
Well, we could just put
Volatility.
on, like, so we have a 2 o'clock meeting next Thursday, that's gonna talk about your goal setting.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So we could just do the next Thursday. I mean, if we wanna break apart the work, we could just say, we're gonna do the work together, right?
Mhm.
And we're just gonna meet for an hour every Thursday from here until the 31st.
I guess maybe I messed up on the dates. I thought the deadline for the short document that you recommended reviewing tonight, the compliance document, was due at the end of next month.
End of August.
Right, so.
Oh, so we have time.
So we have time. That's why my
Okay.
thinking, and then I'll hush about this because we probably could have been done with compliance by now, but I'm thinking we could just review all the documents and very quickly deal with them at the next meeting, is what I'm thinking. Unless you're seeing a lot of,
I think that as well. But I hear think, pair, share, and I think, okay, she's taking it more seriously than I am. I should respect that.
Well, didn't you want to do it today?
But I didn't want to do TPS.
well, we have the 16th. Let's meet then,
We'll meet then.
discuss more of that.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing, right? So I am taking them seriously. I do respect that people might want to think about them outside of a meeting. I also think that I will not do work outside of a meeting right now. Or ever. I don't know if I ever do work outside of meetings, right? Like, I think that's not quite true. Obviously, I get stuff done.
Yeah.
But I think that one thing that can help us work efficiently as a governing council is to have like working meetings where we know that, okay, we're gonna come together, this is the thing we're getting done, right? And then that thing gets done. So that's all I was
Where
thinking.
the ferry has to leave at 7:50 and it's already 7:15,
Right.
and there's still the rest of the
Yeah,
agenda.
This might not be the working meeting. Yeah,
Yeah.
this might not be the working meeting, and that's
So-
totally fine.
Well,
Yeah.
right, I think we decided this is not the working meeting, I think, and we were deciding whether a special meeting should be the working meeting. Or whether we wait till the August regular meeting. And. I'm getting the sense from Jim. That he didn't want to do it as a special meeting before the August meeting.
Could next
that right?
Thursday also be the working meeting? Like, we're already meeting next
Yeah,
Thursday.
we
Why
can,
couldn't that just
we
be
can do
longer?
what we want to do, it's just, I heard Jim not want to do that.
But we already have a meeting next Thursday,
Right,
so it's already on the calendar.
and then you could read in between
Sure.
now and then, no, maybe.
So the reason, Jim, that works better for me, I think, is if we wait until the August meeting and then decide we need a special meeting, I'm in trouble because I will be leaving for, well, it's just a week. But I'll be leaving between that meeting and the end of August in a way that could make it difficult to have a special meeting.
Sure. I can be ready by the 16th or the
16th.
16th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
no
Thursday.
problem.
Okay. Okay, then we will add that to the agenda for the 16th. Noted. Okay, well, so I lied partly because
And you're-
on your agenda, item 9D is in fact
Well.
what I described as item B.
But yeah.
So A and B were both on there and I forgot that I did that.
Mhm.
So. But on to item E on the agenda. Jim and Alex and I went to special meeting of the Public Education Commission in Las Cruces last year, at which they said the commission will be rolling out its Indicators of Success program. I thought it's a great sign that the commission is taking its role very seriously. They are now going forward with this, and step one is for all charter council governing, all PEC authorized charter school governing boards to go through the Indicators of Success survey. It's 48 questions. And we are to rank each of these questions in a way that I'm no longer seeing this. I think it's back here.
It was.
Oh, did you see it somewhere?
Right. Yes, but
I
I
also
also
saw
saw
it
where I
somewhere.
saw it. There were 4, right?
That's
Like,
right. Yep, we're supposed to rank our performance in each of these 48. This to me was a classic go home, do it, come back, compare notes. But I understand that might not work for all of our governing council members. So again, I'm not exactly sure how you would like to
Would you
proceed.
leave the building open after you leave and Tanya can just shut the door?
Yes, I'm just gonna sit here and do it right now. Like, after this meeting, if I
Really?
need to,
I love it.
otherwise
That's
it's not
awesome.
gonna get done. I leave the building.
So respect that.
So,
These are,
I get it.
okay, I mean, I think I think it's a well-designed
do we have
survey.
other copies of that, or it's in a folder?
It should have been, I emailed it to all of you. I
Yep.
did.
Yeah.
If they didn't directly, I also did.
I just saw it, so I know it's out there.
I know I saw it and then I couldn't,
Yep,
oh yeah,
yep, you got
there
it.
it is. Okay,
Yep, you got it.
okay.
That was one Friday? Yeah, Friday.
They're the same.
Okay, well, so maybe this is quicker than I led you to understand, but there are some things might take a little more time depending on Will. We're moving on to lease reimbursement assurances, action and signatures. Will
All right,
take it away.
I'll keep this quick. So the way that charter schools pay for their leases of their properties, you request reimbursement from the PSCOC, which is the Public School Capital Outlay Council. Part of our arrangement with the New Mexico Finance Authority for Jose Barrios is that we're going to pay off our loan using lease assistance. It's a formula based upon how many students you have, et cetera, et cetera. And so it works out well that we'll be able to pay off our since we're in a lease purchase agreement for Jose Barrios, just in case that piece was missed. Every year we submit the application. We've done it here at Rich Hall and WMU's campus for as long as we've been here. Everything is generally the same. One document that assures that it's a public building. This is for Harry and I. Another document that says there are no conflicts of interests in the lease and the lease reimbursements. And this is the one that I put into the folder, the OneDrive, and I have here on the screen. This is it's called the annual conflict of interest questionnaire, but it's basically the application for the lease assistance. I did have to rewrite all of this since it's now based upon a new facility. And so you can look at that on your own. You can look at it here. They said briefly at the beginning of all of these prompts, and so I did my best to keep them brief while clearly conveying the necessary information to them.
That was kind of you.
I'll give everyone a very quick moment. I checked them for grammar.
Zoom in.
Oh, yeah, I can. Well, I can
You
try.
can come sit here too. I have it up on mine.
Yeah, there was the conflict. So,
Luckily, I know where a notary is.
oh, yeah.
It's pretty
This doesn't-
standard.
We don't say we have conflicts. We say it's a public facility.
That's-
That's what I wanted to come
right.
see.
Yeah.
We had to do the conflict when it was a private facility. I don't think we have to do a conflict of interest statement on this.
No, but I do have to submit our conflict of interest policy.
Okay.
Easy.
I love it. Should have been, hopefully, very easy.
It was very easy. I know, you want to know any information about this project? I'll tell you.
That looks great to me.
It's, yeah, pretty clear, pretty simple. And this one I have a printed version of. At the end requires Harry's signature, my signature, and then all governing council members.
Okay.
If you were on the governing council last year, you remember I did a lot of wrangling of people for this one.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
this time I was hoping to get it all while we're in a captive place. That's
I-
that.
I looked at this ahead of time and there was a question towards the end, about, sorry. About if there were any competitive, that's what I'm looking for. I can't remember which item it is. And I thought, was there any sense in which our consideration of Sixth Street Elementary was
Yep.
would be useful in this document, or is this so boilerplate that's not even worth mentioning? We were tossing around different options, and if that would help us in any way, we didn't immediately say JBES is it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, let's leave it out.
I mentioned that in the last paragraph about how this site was determined and whether or not it's a good value, that. I
It
guess
serves our
Yeah, and
educational interest. I know you
right,
mentioned
there's
that.
not a lot of options,
Yeah.
was the first
Yeah.
one, and that's been a piece of this application as long as they've been filled out, because,
I did this for 16 years.
oh, yeah,
It was almost exactly the same every single year.
Yeah. this is the first, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready to sign.
Okay.
No, not a problem, just.
Cool. Just signatures and approval for the submittal of this application.
So you had told me to write action and signatures, but it's really just signatures, right? We don't,
Really just
There's no
signatures. Action was purely in there for the sake of redundancy.
Like we should make a motion to
Make a
say,
motion, be like, we approve the submission of the
I'll make-
lease assistant.
I so move.
second.
we've never done that before.
Oh,
I'm okay breaking new ground. That's fine. Any discussions?
it's from speaking. Wow.
All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't leave without signing it.
Yeah.
Open Meetings Act resolution.
Here it is.
Yeah.
This is in that same OneDrive folder. Will, it's not exactly the one you put there.
Oh, really?
I didn't know you put one there. I put one there and I
Oh, did
kept
you?
mine.
Good, good, good. Anytime I put something in there that's redundant, feel free to delete. This is another one. I mean, this is the same thing every year.
It's
Same thing
almost
every
identical.
year.
I did some formatting changes.
Yeah.
But that's right. This contemplates no changes in our public notice requirements.
It's state law, right? I mean, it's,
The state, some of this is state law and some is up to us.
okay.
So for example, some institutions require themselves, they put it on themselves, that they send notices to all media. All the radio stations get a notice, newspapers get a notice. Some institutions require themselves to advertise. This is the town of Silver City requires itself to advertise in the daily press. for these public meetings. And so every meeting of committees I'm on, $50. Because they have to advertise it by their own resolution. Those are not state law. That's,
Okay.
it's up to us to determine what constitutes adequate notice within reasonable grounds, and anybody who wanted to challenge it could challenge it. What we say is, it's on our website at least 3 days before, 72 hours before. It's available at the front office at least 3 days before, and it's available by calling the school at least 3 days before. That's
I
what's
just
in
thought that
here.
was all state law. I didn't realize that was not. That was part of the argument.
We could push the envelope and see if they think 24 hours is okay. I bet you they would say that. If anybody asked.
So I'd like to move that we accept the Open Meetings, let me get the title here, Open Meetings Act Resolution. It's written.
I second.
Great, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Jim, I
Aye.
imagine you're an aye, okay.
Yep. So-
That's, that's unanimously. We are moving fast. We're into bar. We have one bar. And it's an FY 26 bar. That we're doing after the end of FY 26, which is unusual but allowed apparently.
Okay.
So I would move that we approve the bar, the maintenance bar as.
I second.
Any discussion?
No, sorry, I'm just
No worries.
coughing.
Wandering.
I'm only a woofa. I cede to all woofers if you require harm. All those in favor of approving the bar, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Hi.
thank you. Okay,
Your legislative record has begun, Kristen.
that's right.
That's the motion.
And now there's a proposal, a resolution. Did you bring a copy of that by chance?
Will did.
Will did?
I do.
Yeah.
I have the digital copy here from the screen on acknowledging
nice.
that the screen is temporary. Normally I have a big screen, but it's moved to Saturday bar. It's not. Here it is, and here's a paper copies that I can pass around too if anyone wants to prefers that.
Oh,
Sorry, I printed
so
kind of
we're
odd,
removing-
but whatever.
Removing these assets from our asset inventory. So council action.
Okay, so the approximate value, 15,000, and the rent would have been the same thing. That's
Well,
how this works. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to give a clear number to that
I
because we
would
did
guess
not,
that
you know, the cost for removal and reinstallation
Right.
and all of that would up that quite a bit.
I was just thinking of how this would be perceived by the state, because it sounded like we had to be
One
careful.
public institution to another public institution. You
Yep.
don't have to be careful.
Yep,
Okay,
public stuff, yep.
okay,
No, if we were doing this to a private institution, we'd have to be extremely careful.
Yeah.
Much more so than we are. We'd have to have actual quotes, people assessing the
Mhm.
value.
okay, yeah, very satisfying. That's important.
And Jim, you sign this?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, secretary.
Oh,
The way
does
it was
Mhm.
drafted.
Oh, wow.
And I sign it where it says chair.
Chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both are on there.
good, nice.
Yeah.
Nice, I did not see that, that's awesome.
Thank you for the snatch, Erin.
Yeah, thanks for.
So that's this one.
It was not really very grateful for the cantaloupe, at least.
I'm
Everybody,
extremely grateful. It was delicious.
if you need Aaron's pen.
And then I'll just send
Yeah, I
that to
think
the
so.
auditor.
Thank you.
Thank
The
you,
letter.
thank you.
So.
Thank you for preparing. this.
Yeah, thanks to Crystal, she
Yeah.
did all the work for this.
You want this back?
So we don't have to vote on this one.
Yeah, we
Say
did.
after.
We just did.
We did? Okay, great.
Did I miss it?
No,
We didn't?
no,
I don't think we
No,
voted on this
no,
one.
I don't have any
I think
notes
this
on
one
it.
I
was-
got carried away with the signature.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve the signature of, or
No,
just
just
the
To approve the resolution.
resolution of the remove. Is that what we're going over?
Mhm.
Removal of the
Removal of
security.
security cameras
Yeah.
from asset inventory.
Yeah, we'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously.
Awesome, thank you all.
Thank you.
That closes that portion out for WMU.
Okay, well,
We did good with those last couple items.
seriously.
Let's go back to the
We
beach.
could.
I'm kidding, I am
Well,
kidding.
Tanya might want to.
She's already starting.
If we're gonna,
I'm just gonna be here while we sign stuff.
I know.
let's finish the agenda and then see if people want to stay longer and do something more. How's that?
Okay.
GC input.
Very quickly, in my last minute training that I completed, there was something that I found kind of puzzling. They said many times if you're trying to pass something that has a significant financial component, that you need two motions, and I can never remember doing that. They said you'll need like a policy motion. Let's say it was opening the sixth grade, a policy motion to do it, and then a fiscal motion, a financial motion to say something about the support. And that really doesn't feel like it's in
That's
our.
something we did.
I know, I think you're right, because if you remember, we did do that for the Jose Barrios purchase,
Mhm.
where it had to be presented at one GC meeting, and it couldn't be an action item until the following GC meeting.
That's different.
Yeah, that's like
Different?
that's like a first and second read of it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay,
That is what we say we do with policies,
right,
a first and then second.
right, a
Yep.
review and then a vote, yep.
Here's the only thing I can make square with what you said. If a policy has a fiscal implication, that would be voted on through a bar.
Mm.
Right? We might have a bar that allows that policy to be implemented. But if it doesn't, I don't understand why you would ever have to have a
Well, I
vote.
was puzzled, and I was also too lazy to go look it up in the statute. I was like, maybe somebody knows, somebody on the GC knows, but I was surprised by that because. I mean, the bar seems to be an after the fact change. You've already made your budget and then the adjustment, that doesn't seem like a bar issue to me. Like sixth grade, we would say, oh, we're all full, we have 24 enrolled students. The board says we should open a second section of sixth grade.
Then you need to make sure that you have the budget authority to pay a new teacher,
Right.
which is where the.
But
bar
that
comes
would,
in.
oh, I thought that would happen before, like the bar would happen, like, oh, we found out that we needed to provide health insurance for the teacher. We didn't initially provide for that, so now the bar is gonna adjust that.
The requirement is budget authority exists before a commitment is made. You can't sign a contract if you don't have budget authority to fulfill that contract.
Right.
So the bar has to happen before, if you don't have the authority existing.
Okay,
The bar has to happen before you sign that contract. Which is why you potentially approve it and the policy.
maybe that's what.
At the same
maybe
time.
That makes sense to me, that's what he was talking about. It was not phrased anywhere nearly so clear. It's sort of a passing step.
How come if we did the same sketchy training, which I think we did, I did all 5 of those hour things, I remember ever hearing it. And it was in one of those?
Yep.
I guess I assumed they were all the same, but maybe they're not.
Well, or maybe I heard something you didn't. I mean, that's
Yes.
conceivable.
Certainly possible.
I'll see if I can find it. I don't really want to give it too much time because they're tedious. Sorry to let you know about that, Keith, but
Huh. No, it is true that on occasion I was interrupted and maybe didn't hit me
how
why.
much sleep. Wait, I should, I'm sorry. It's recorded.
You know, they said a few things in the fiscal oversight version
Mhm.
that I actually wrote them about and said they were wrong because they weren't.
Oh,
But that wasn't one of them, but it wouldn't surprise me if maybe there was something else
Back
that
in the
isn't
fiscal
exactly right.
oversight.
either. Any other input? So that was unsatisfactory. Hi. Tanya, Aaron,
Just clarifying, I attend next week's meeting because I'm on the board until August. August.
we would love your presence.
yeah, I was saying, so, yeah.
You just said something, well, about like one of the
Yeah.
pieces of paper documents. That would be in August,
Yeah.
like you said. That's
version.
or something.
Sure.
We're good.
So.
Okay, so
And then we'll stand.
Oh, no,
okay.
Just-
no, I meant in August you won't. Right? I think that's right. My only GC input is, should we do a formal snack rotation? Might involve you. I guess I'm saying, because I haven't brought some for a while.
That sounds like you're up.
And I,
Well,
well,
no
I probably
pressure.
am up.
I
No,
mean, I wonder if it
but
could,
that's not what I meant. I meant a rotation.
yeah, I wonder if we wanna make a schedule or if we just wanna say at the end of each meeting,
Who's
we're
up?
just gonna say who's up. That
That's fine with
seems-
me.
That seems easier.
Okay. Do we want snacks at our 2 o'clock meeting?
Never hurts.
Right.
Welcome aboard.
All
Free
right,
manner.
HB snacks for,
Snacks were apparently not a thing before Tanya and I, so is that right?
I know.
they have been off and on.
Well, as is revealed to our newer governing council attendees, it is wise to have snacks because these, they go on for a fair chunk of time.
That's right. Okay, well, we have come to the end of the agenda.
Yep.
Do you have a proposal for us?
No, I was thinking about this homework thing
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
And I wonder if I can make a document. And each column, this is what I wanna do in this document, each column is one of us. And we each give a score, cause if the scoring is 1 through 5, which by the way, I don't know if 1 is good or 5 is good, it doesn't say that in the document. We will just have to decide, I think, I didn't see it. And then I can just make a little formula that just averages them out for us. You looking for this? Can we do,
Get a-
would that
grab the other
work?
copy Before we do that.
Okay, I don't know where to start that.
Do you wanna come over?
And when
is
you
it
say,
like
would that
this?
work, do you mean, would that work to do it now?
No,
Oh.
this is a way that we can do it on our own, but it's sort of collected.
Mhm.
It's because all of our responses are collected in one
Mhm.
document, so I can see that there's not conversation necessarily, it doesn't. The
Right,
conversation's not there, but at least it's all of our responses are collected in one.
so,
spot.
so,
sorry.
no,
Is it the running?
I'm just
order?
gonna say about the conversation, perhaps. When we enter a number, if what we want to do is have a conversation rather than enter a number, we can just put that note in there.
Yeah,
I wanna talk about this.
yeah, I'm just trying to think about how to do it efficiently.
When I'm making the state happy, I'll enter a number and move on. When I'm trying to make my school better,
Yeah.
I want to talk.
And I
about it.
think this is.
But maybe some of these you will.
And some of them I may not
Yeah.
want to do that, yeah. I
Yeah,
understand.
and I'm still kind of attached to this idea that there's training for us, there's money for us for training, and I'm attached to that idea because I love training and I love learning, right? And so I'm like, okay, how can we show, right, what areas we might like to have, like some training in a seminar in, or go somewhere and.
So you could see using the statistics in the discussion to point us in the direction of what
Yeah.
we're gonna do. My initial thought when we went to that meeting was, let's really invest in, I mean, 10,000 is not chump change. Invested in helping the staff get training in this whole mentoring model.
But
Because I think that's key, but I found, the more I read, the more I found that it's for governing.
That's right,
councils.
exactly.
And
They've
I
got
was
their
like,
own.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah, they,
Yeah.
right.
And if we're better, right, like if we're better, we will be better for them, right? That's kind of, I think that's the idea, right? Is that if governing councils work smoothly and are effective and efficient, that makes the workplace
Yep.
environment better, that makes the big ideas
Totally.
come to fruition,
Mhm.
right? So, anyways, so I'm gonna make,
This would just be as long as everyone's like comfortable. We were all going to see each other's responses.
Yes,
So
that's what I was
like,
just,
like,
yeah,
it is
yeah.
Just all
Yeah.
there on the same document.
so I'm just gonna put GC input, I'll put it in. I'll put it in our GC folder. I'll put the letter A in front of it, so it's right at the top.
Love it.
I would sort by date.
Or you can sort by date. And then I'll put a name for each of us.
Will it be our name?
Yes,
Okay.
is that okay?
Unnamed, you just said unnamed, right?
Or I could make up names.
Could be fun.
Sorry, I'm getting punchy.
Nope, it's okay. And then, we need to decide, I wanna put up here, the score, we're scoring 1 to 5 with where,
I like 5 best.
Yeah.
okay, with 5 is, okay, so the questions are like, the leadership is able to and makes decisions. So 5 would mean yes, emphatically yes. I agree with that
Yeah, that's
statement.
useful.
So 5 is I agree.
That's-
And the leadership is distinct from the governing board, the way I'm seeing it. So by leadership,
Be
we
will.
mean will,
Yeah.
right? There's nothing else, right? Nothing else is meant by leadership, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
these questions are all agree or disagree. I think the way they're written, the governing board regularly engages with school staff and community. You either agree or you don't agree with that
Oh, wait.
statement.
No, why can't we rate it 1 through 5?
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I'd say,
I mean, it's not a like you only agree or you only, there's like
It's a
a,
Likert scale.
yes, exactly, but it's not like very good or not very good. You know what I mean?
agree or
I
just.
think it means,
Okay.
what? 5 to me means strongly agree.
Yes.
3
yes,
means, yeah,
5
we
is
do that
strongly
okay,
agree.
but not
Yes,
great.
that's what I wanted. 5 is strongly agree. And
Okay.
from there, we can figure out the
Okay,
rest.
perfect.
And,
I just needed the word like,
Words like strongly
yeah,
agree.
yes, exactly. That's
and
what I
just to
mean. Okay.
clarify, are we to complete this for the August meeting or for the July 16th?
Ooh, good
The
question.
survey.
So this particular 48
Oh,
question,
this particular one.
because the others were definitely the 16th.
Let's
The
just do this one
compliance.
for the August meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Indicators
Thanks.
of success.
Yep.
Okay.
Like that.
Keep me in alphabetical order. What do you do?
Well, I
Is
was.
anybody surprised? Oh, sorry.
You know what? You can use either of Jim's first name and it'll still be in alphabetical order.
Okay. All right,
Okay,
what about, oops, I forgot Alex.
she'll be happy to hear that.
Oh, your pen.
Okay. Do we have other things to discuss?
Sign the other.
Given an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll hand it around. Anyone can.
Let's just
You
do
can start
that.
signing these while they go around. That's the only one that requires all members' signature. The other ones are just Harry and I, except for the resolution, which is Harry, I, and Jim.
I
Which is
signed
the
this
first time that's
twice.
happened, which I think is awesome.
Oh, is this a black only?
Just. Should we adjourn and we can take care of signatures?
I was about to, when
Oh,
I
sorry.
was, no worries. That's where I was going when I said, is there any further
Yeah.
business? I mean, this came in front of my head. Squirrel. Hearing no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Thanks.
Adjourn.
Absolutely, 7:40 PM.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
I also know that you need to
For-
get your
Go.
money.
Oh, really? No,